If there's ever been a guy on a mission, it's me, comedian and cooking fanatic, Sal Governale. Each week I travel around with just my toaster oven, showing people how to make big meals in small places. In this episode, I'm poolside with Larry Caputo, husband of world-famous psychic Theresa Caputo from Long Island Medium, and we're making Larry's delicious, one-of-a-kind Italian meatballs.
It doesn't get better than this. Ah, Madonna mia, che bellezza. Hey, it's Sal Governale. Welcome back to Big Meals, Small Places. Today I have a very, very special guest, my good friend and fellow turtle from the Long Island Medium, the one and only, the fantastic and hilarious Larry Caputo.
Thanks for having me, Sal.
You got it, buddy. Now, one of my biggest requests on Big Meals, Small Places is meatballs. On Twitter, on YouTube, on Facebook, it's like, Sal, you're Italian, make meatballs. Larry, you're Italian.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah, so I love meatballs. I brag about my meatballs, and then one day Larry comes up to me and goes, your meatballs ain't shit. I go, what? He goes, I'll make you the best meatballs ever. And Theresa even goes, he does make the best meatballs. Sure enough, last year, Christmas Eve, Larry drove to my house and gave me these meatballs. They were so good, I begged Larry, could you please do it for our show? And here he is.
And I want to thank you. I'm honored to be on the show. Thanks.
I'm honored to have you, Larry. So, Larry, get into the meatballs. Show the people your trick and what makes your meatballs so damn good.
Well, this is just a family recipe. My grandmother used to make them, and I used to love coming over her house because the aroma when you used to walk in her house. And what was great about her meatballs, you don't even need sauce. They're fantastic without sauce. And the trick to making them so delicious and moist is by using bread and egg.
Mine are moist. When I had his, it was the first time me as an Italian, I ate meatballs without sauce.
And they were delicious.
Out of this world. So your trick is, the key to moisture here, what Larry's saying is bread. And I noticed you wet it?
Right. A lot of people use breadcrumbs.
Right.
But the way we've been taught to do it is with, sometimes with the old tradition was use Italian bread.
Right.
And you'd soak it in the water and make it nice and moist like we have it here. And all you got to do is like just squish it up with your hands.
Okay.
All right, just like that.
And this is your traditional American bread where you make peanut butter and jelly on it.
This is just regular white bread. Like I said, you can use Italian bread. You can use whatever you want. But the trick is, it's got to be wet. Some people use milk.
Right. Doesn't matter.
That's a preference.
Okay.
Your mixture, you can pick this up in any supermarket. It's just what they call meatloaf mix.
Right, that's the key here. That's what Larry does. He does beef, pork, and veal, and it's even portions for all three.
Absolutely.
All right.
So this, everything you just mix with your hands, you break this up, and it's a matter of preference on how you want to start out, but the way I usually start out is always with my salt and pepper.
Okay.
And once again, this is, I know you tell your people out there in television land that
everybody wants portion sizes, but there's
no rocket science to it. It's by eye and by taste. That's the best way to go.
Yeah, and you know, Larry being a fellow Italian, one thing that we always said is that our parents and us, we taste by hand.
Right.
And Larry right now, I would say that's about probably a tablespoon of pepper right now, more or less.
You see, it's a pretty even coat of pepper on the top.
Just like a nice dusting of it.
It's just by eye. You don't want to overdo it. You can always add.
And by the way, this is a pound of veal, pork, and chopped meat. And Larry, no matter what you're doing, the great thing about this, like Larry said, he's dusting it. So if he had 5 pounds, he would dust it the same way.
Right, same way.
So here it is.
There you go.
There it is. Dusted with salt and pepper. So what's next, Larry?
Okay, so we'll mix that a little bit.
Oh, so you actually stop at this moment and mix it?
Yeah, just to mix it up. It always helps. And then the next step is the eggs.
Now, I personally use 1 egg. What I found to be interesting here is that Larry uses at least 2 eggs in this, maybe 3?
For a pound, I know usually when we have a big family, so we'll do like at least 5 pounds of chopped meat.
Right.
And I could take at least a half a dozen eggs.
Wow, okay.
Once again, it's by taste. You'll know by feel when you're mixing it.
The texture.
The texture of it, and if it's correct or not. And you can always add.
So in this case, it's probably safe to say for a pound, 2 eggs would definitely, I think.
Yeah, right now. How's it feel? You want to feel it?
I wasn't talking about that meat. Hey now.
Why don't you throw in now fresh garlic,
right,
and fresh parsley.
The parsley's from my garden. I grew it.
Absolutely. So that's got to be great.
So we have about 2 healthy tablespoons.
Yeah, dump it in there. That's
of parsley. And look at this. This is a good 5 to 6 cloves of garlic.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid of it.
No, don't be afraid. Garlic is a main ingredient.
And it keeps the vampires away. That and all the other stuff that your wife does on the show.
Then we give it a mix again.
Right.
As you mix, you'll feel it's all starting to come together.
Right.
And then
the bread.
We'll do the bread.
The bread in?
Yeah, go ahead.
Now this is about 4 pieces of American bread. You know, the garbage that you put bologna and cheese on for your kids.
Try not to use all that water.
Okay.
Just use the bread.
Don't use the water.
Yeah, usually what we do is we squeeze the bread and drain the excess water out of it.
Okay.
You got to work it, make sure it's mixed well. And now we could put in, once again, same thing. We're going to, by eye. That's plenty.
All right. About, I like a lot of cheese.
That's okay.
That's about a 1/4 cup of pecorino romano grated cheese.
Right. Now, once again, that's going to firm it up a little now.
Right. So we have the cheese, we have the wet bread, we have the parsley, we have the garlic, and we have 2 eggs for about 1 pound of veal, pork, and beef, ground obviously together. And Larry's mixing it all up. And we're gonna make this in the toaster oven. So look how simple this is.
Right.
It's about 6 ingredients. It's a little bowl right now. It's gonna go on a pan, and I put a little parchment paper. You can use tinfoil as well, but I use parchment so it doesn't stick. All right, so can I have the honors of pulling one?
So let's see.
You do first. Let me see.
What I want to do here is you want to take it and just, you want to feel the texture.
Right.
So now you see it. Now most people are going to go, wow, that's really mushy.
I was just about to say that this particular meatball is really mushy, almost at the point where I would feel inclined to add more breadcrumbs.
Right.
And you might too as well at home, but now I just realized why your meatballs are so moist and good. If your meatball is wet like this, and by the way, look at my hands. My hands are clean, yet the meatball is soft and very, very moist. This is something that I've never have been subjected to. All my life, it's just like a hard meatball.
Right. You don't want it to be like lead.
No, you don't. That tells you right there that you're getting a great, moist, delicious meatball. Larry, did you ever think we would be making meatballs in a toaster oven?
Not my wildest dreams, Sal.
Could you grab the toaster oven,
Sure.
Larry? Just open that up. So we're gonna do this for 20 minutes, 350 degrees. After that, we'll flip them and we'll go another 5 minutes. This way they'll be browned all around.
Right.
And we're having Larry's delicious meaty balls. All right, Larry, it's been 25 minutes. The meatballs have been baking and we flipped them over and we let them brown on the other side for about 5 minutes more. Let's take a look at how they are. And Larry, you've been frying them.
Let's see how this came out, Sal.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, I'm used to them fried, so this is gonna be...
Take a look, what do you think?
They look fried.
They really do. They're crispy, they're brown, and they're a lot healthier. They're not soaked in oil, which is great.
Right.
And let's give these things a try. They look so damn good. Man, I can't wait to try this. Oh my God. Let's plate that up. And again, Larry's trick here is wet bread. Skip the breadcrumbs. This is such a simple recipe. A little wet bread, and I love the fact that he did 2 eggs with 1 pound of veal, beef, and pork combined together. Here, grab that fork.
That's the trick.
Wow.
All right, moment of truth. Tender on the inside, crispy on the outside.
So good.
I'm amazed. I'm so used to them being fried, they're great baked also.
I'm talking to Theresa right now. You know why?
Why? What are you getting?
I'm in heaven.
Faccia brute.
She says, get home and don't forget the milk.
Oh, God.
Thanks, everybody.